Today we'll be looking at a reflection on technology trends, both from the perspective of the traditional learner and the digital learner. The traditional learner, despite viewing technology as ever abundant and present in a media enriched world, still views technology as a challenge to the classroom dynamics. The commercial properties of social media is also viewed as harmful to the education because what it does is that it focuses on likes and commonalities, which actually diverts from the other valuable learning strategies, such as inquiry. In addition to this, such technologies are intended for learning. However, they can pose a serious distraction inside the classroom. Without the teacher constantly surveying the students, they will likely veer off into activities unrelated to the instructional objective. Looking at the trends in the prediction, with the constant surge of new technologies being embedded in the classroom, this will actually force our learners into cognitive overload. And of course, this will also result in slow processing. It is already evident that students rather instantaneous responses to queries rather than exerting themselves to research and train their information processing skills. Skirky 2014 also adds that digital devices and applications continue to be designed for competing for our attention. The societal challenges include deteriorating connection to reality. Most of the virtual and augmented realities that are designed, they are designed to replace interpersonal connections and human interactions. Therefore, users are just connected to the software, and because of such connections, it can strain the relationships between their peers and dissolve human communication overall. Further to this, these devices are forcing learners to become more efficient multitaskers, and this will also result in loss of productivity. It is noted that when tasks are completed concurrently, it demands a greater completion time, and the end product is usually plagued with flaws. Focusing on the influence on current and future generations, many individuals get addicted to social media, video games, and even virtual realities. This addiction can affix dangerous ideas in their heads, which leads them to act upon such desires. The present technologies also inhibit flexible thinking and action. The software actually forces users to complete one specific action, whereby in a traditional learning environment, the learner can freely ask questions and test their own constructed hypotheses. Looking at the influence on lifestyle and culture, we see that such technology can be time-consuming because the users are forced to keep up with new trends, and this can also be discouraging. There's an observable decline in empathetic social skills and people's extroversion because real-time relationships are now being replaced with digital ones, and this epidemic is evidently decreasing our body-to-body sociability. Mobile learning, such as gamification, VR, and other meaningful trends, allow for a more individualistic approach to learning, whereby learners' needs are customized. The emergence of new resources also enable learning that can overcome both time and space. Assistive technologies, they have been particularly instrumental in our era, especially in the areas of special education. Technology also adds sensory depth, and learners can explore alternative realities and learn through visualization. Looking at the trends and predictions, currently new technologies make it faster and easier for individuals to learn. Gamification, for example, entices learners by challenging them to complete coursework so as to unlock new levels. Other technologies adjust and present reading content to match individual reading levels. Artificial intelligence is also leveraged for customized learning. In view of the societal changes, information is now accessible with just a few clicks, so people can readily get any kind of information at any given time. Specialized training can be facilitated through virtual reality, and this eliminates the risk associated with serious medical procedures such as brain surgery. When looking at the influence on current and future generations, new technologies have changed the way individuals acquire knowledge, making them more aware or more innovative. In addition to this, future place of employment will no longer be characterized by physical office space, but it will be done by virtual spaces. It is noted that nearly 51% of the tasks completed will be purely automated. Looking at the influence on lifestyle and culture, new age technologies have become indispensable for building online learning communities. It's also become useful in completing studies online and communicating with peers, among other things. Technology means flexibility. From cloud based platforms to video conferencing, millennials embrace the freedom of remote working and the change in work culture that technology affords them. Accessibility to technology has resulted in the disparity that currently exists between older and younger generations. Technology that is considered new to older generations, such as the boomers and Gen X, are part of the lives of many millennials. The older generation communicative styles were highly personal and involved face to face exchange or emails, while millennials and Gen Zs are constantly connected through instant messaging, social media, and other communication apps. The perception of technology differs because the older generation associates technology with a waste of time, while millennials associate it with productivity. In order to reach a consensus across generations, we have to acknowledge that resistance is as a result of fear. So, a change toward a different way of learning can result in fear, and therefore, many older generations are resistant to technology. Others may feel that they are immigrants in the digital world. On the flip side, digital natives may become bored and disengaged if they're forced to learn in traditional ways. Educators must therefore be open to both mindsets and create an environment that does not overwhelm one while underwhelms the other. Looking at the strategies for bridging the technology generation gap, Coughlin 2018 recommends a number of things. One, he recommends creating an environment where knowledge is openly shared and easily accessed instead of being guarded. Two, creating a multi-generational group of employees to work together to promote information sharing. And three, creating a multi-generational training program for team members and equip them with the skills to effectively communicate with one another. In conclusion, generational differences in age are among the many factors that greatly influence attitudes towards technology. With this in mind, educators are summoned to acknowledge both perspectives. Regardless of the viewpoint we hold, however, it would be beneficial to look at the long-term impact on the learners and be open to new ideas by developing a flexible mindset. Thank you so much for watching.